Okay, hi everybody. This is your science teacher, John Walker. And the other day we posted some material on matter changing state. And the three different states that we're concentrating on are solid, liquid, and gas. And those are the key words in terms of when a substance goes from a solid to a liquid. From a solid to a liquid, that's called melting. If it goes from a liquid to a solid, it's called freezing. And here you have, if it goes from a liquid to a gas, that's called vaporization. Sometimes we say evaporation, but it's the same thing. And then if it goes from a gas back to a liquid, that's condensation. That's like when the clouds up become from a gas back in, it condenses into a liquid. And then from a solid to a gas and back, that's sublimation and deposition. So those are some of the things that we talked about. We also, and let me scroll down here. So here are some of the words that we're going to, that I asked some questions on: boiling, freezing, boiling point, all, those are the things. And here are some of the questions that I asked in that little demonstration. And so anyway, the type of vaporization that takes place below the surface of a liquid is called boiling. Yep, that's what it's called, but we all knew that, didn't we? Liquids boil at a specific temperature called boiling point. You've heard that many times, and your mom or maybe your auntie who is cooking something, they might say, yep, that's its boiling point. The melting point of a substance is also the same as the freezing point. Okay, and so at that point that there's energy, and it's either going to melt, or if it's going the other way, it's going to freeze. Evaporization is a type of evaporation. Can't even talk this morning. Is a type of vaporization that takes place on the surface of a liquid. Number 5, when matter changes from a solid to a liquid, the process is called melting. And you can see as we scroll down here, and we're going to get to vaporization, condensation, and then here's a really interesting chart, and it shows really a couple of things. It shows how a material goes from a solid, here it's a solid, and it goes up to a liquid and then to a gas. And on this side of the graph is the temperature going up. So it might be, like 10 degrees. So, something would be, frozen at that point, right? 10 degrees temperature. So it would be frozen. So here's the temperature going up, and then here's the thermal energy. The thermal energy is the energy that is created as the temperature increases, and the thermal energy is going up, and so what happens to that piece of material that we just said? Let's just say it's a piece of ice. Okay, well, if down here where it's 10 degrees, it's a solid, okay, and it stays a solid till it goes up to its melting point, right? And at this point, even though the thermal energy is increasing, it's still, the temperature hasn't gone up in in the ice, because it's absorbing the energy. It's changing from a solid into a liquid, and at this point, it's now a liquid. And so, and here the temperature goes up, the thermal energy goes up, it goes way up, and at this point, this is its point where it's going to turn into, or begin to turn into, a gas. And here it actually takes a lot of increase in thermal energy in order to change it from a liquid to a gas. So it takes more energy for water to go from a liquid to a gas than it goes from a solid to a liquid. Yeah, pretty interesting. And a lot of material will have the same kind of graph, and it shows the amount of thermal energy required to change things from into the different states of solid, liquid, and gases. And let's see, here's some questions. Okay, what is happening to the temperature at the thermal energy of line segments A and B? in line segment A and B. Let me go scroll back up here. Okay. Well, what's happening is that this material, let's just say it's water, is absorbing the thermal energy in its changing of a state from a solid to a liquid. And here it's absorbing energy here as it changes from a liquid into a gas. Okay, and that's what's happening. If the substance is being heated at line A, the change of state is called melting. Okay, and there it is right there. That's where it's melting. Okay, and as I scroll down here, you can see all these different questions that I'm asking. Okay, if the substance is being cooled cooled at line A, the change of state is called freezing. Yeah, so this is the, this, if it's going this way, it's melting, right? If it's going that way, it's freezing. So if the temperature is going, it's getting lower, it is freezing, and it's going to change from a liquid back into a solid. Okay. So these are the changes of state that matter goes into or out of as it changes its state. Okay. Now here's a multiple choice question. Okay, let's go down here. You can see all these different questions. Now, if you answer if you have answered these questions, or if you can give me some information to tell me that you took a look at this, and I'm going to give you some points to make your grades much better. Okay, so here is clouds. Okay, clouds, fog, and steam that you can see are all examples of which state of matter. Well, when you can see, water, it's into its liquid state. It just hasn't become heavy enough to fall to the ground. Okay, a lot of people think it's still gas, but it's not. It's in its liquid state. And then an ice cube that gets smaller while resting in a freezer is an example of what? Well, what that is that's sublimation. The ice cube is going not into, and it's not melting, doesn't go from solid to a liquid to a gas. It actually bypasses the liquid state, and it turns from a solid into a gas, and that's called sublimation. Okay. All right. So hope you enjoyed this. Take a look at it. Just make sure that you know these different things. These are really some vocabulary and concepts that you really must know. And in order to be in the industrial business or any of the other businesses, like being a chef or cooking or things like that, construction, you should know these. And I hope this finds you well and you're safe and sound, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.